What's going on, guys? So welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a little bit different video. It's going to be taking place over many days, and yeah. So we recently went on vacation, came back to the house, and while we were gone, turns out the water shutoff valve in my upstairs bathroom sink failed while we were gone and caused some water damage to our kitchen ceiling. Check this out. So this here is the water damage area. So bathroom is directly upstairs, and it had leaked for 4 or 5 days while we were gone. That hole that you see is from me pushing on it to see how wet it was. It cracked, and I said, screw it, cut it open, let this dry out. I gotta replace the ceiling anyways, and yeah. So now I gotta replace that section of drywall, and we decided to do a project that we weren't planning to do quite yet, but might as well now, which is replace the lights that we have throughout the kitchen. We hate these lights. They don't provide enough light, and we really like the look of recessed lighting. So I went ahead, ordered some recessed lights. So yeah, if I'm already doing drywall work, might as well go all out. I got to repaint the ceiling anyways. So what is a little extra work to put new lights in? So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to show you the whole process of what I do here, and if you can take any tips away from it, probably don't follow what I do. So I just spent the last couple minutes getting drop cloth taped up and my where my drywall needs to be cut out marked. So now that we're ready there, I can go ahead and use the oscillating saw, zip this out, and have a hole there until the repair is done and the lights come in. There's gonna be a lot of nails. Ooh. Okay, this is very satisfying. I think this ceiling's been replaced before. Definitely looks like it. Just because there's a lot of old nails, like there's some nails, there's some screws, there's a little bit of error. What the f is this? I'll get you guys up here in a second. All right, let me get you guys up here. All right, so you see I got this all cut out now. I can finally see the wiring. I think this is the wiring for the lights. Let's see here. And one comes over to that. That goes through the joist back into this, I think. I don't know. Got plumbing there. I think toilets and shower, and then these ones are sinks. It's open now, so that's an achievement. Now it is time to clean up my mess before my wife gets home. So we're back at it. It's been a couple days, waited on the Amazon order to come, and right now I am using the laser level to find my line, make sure it's perfectly straight, get my piece of tape up at where each can light's gonna go in. So I'm gonna do it for this side of the room, and then I'm gonna do it for this side of the room, and then we will shut the breaker off and then get to cutting the holes for each light. All right, so measurements are on the stove. So 57 to each light. right, so what I was doing there is I was going through and making sure that all my lines or all my dots are equally spaced based on my sheet here. So they're all about 58 inches apart along the middle ones, and then from the edge, so from that wall over there to the first dot is 28.5, and then from the far wall in is about 35 inches. So those are all perfectly evenly spaced. I also went through and made a line where the green line matches up on the tape. And now I will do the cross section here with those ones and then put my other piece of tape up. And then from there we should be good. Shut the breaker off and then get the holes started to be cut. I got a hole saw, perfect size for these lights. And then once I have that, we can start running wiring and figuring out what extra holes we need to drill to mark out or to run the wire. So next up is figuring out what breaker my lights are on, or what breakers. So let's see. Disposal, lights, and kitchen plugs. Cool. I don't know what general lights. We got the power turned off. I'm gonna get this light out real quick and then get the drill ready with the saw, cut my new hole, and I will be back as soon as I have that done. All right, so the light is in, got the hole cut for it, and now let's see it. Damn, it's a little yellow.
Right.
It's yellow.
Okay, so that's not the one.
So not the right color.
The
Un momento. All right, we got it figured out. We need 5,000, or we want 5,000 because that's about the color temperature of this one. We want that across the whole room. But one can light is in. All right, so now I just got to do that 8 more times. And yeah, so I will see you guys when there are a lot more holes and possibly more lights hanging here. Quick little update, got 4 holes in. I can do 2 more, and then I got to put the sheet of drywall up, and then I can cut my new holes. And then out with these 2. So we got 6 of the 8 holes done. I'm gonna take these lights down, these 2, and then figure out where the wire, I know where the wiring is for this one. Figure out where the wiring for this one is routed, start cutting and routing my wiring for these lights, and then I will come over here, get the drywall up, cut these holes, and then get this all wired in, and hopefully should be good to go in the next, by 2 hours. My estimate on 2 hours to get all 8 lights in, wildly wrong. It took me 2 hours to get 4 of the 8 lights in, but it looks really good. Check this out. All right, so they're in, they're fully in, already tested them, made sure the wiring was good. Have a few holes to patch here, but look at this. So much nicer. It looks so good. Then after quick screws later and using some of the pucks that we got from the other holes, these 3 are filled. So now that those 4 are done, I'm gonna take a quick break because it's 6 o'clock. I'm gonna have dinner, chill for a little bit, clean up a little bit. I made a lot of dust over here redoing that light, and then run the wiring for these 4, get rid of this light, and then put drywall up. I just had some dinner, and now I'm back on getting these lights in. So I turned the power off. I finally found, which I wish I had over here, I would have one less hole, piece of wire. Because what I can do is I have a channel that's already ran with wiring here. So I can fish this through the ceiling there, over to that hole, and then pull the wire back through, so I'm not drilling any excess holes over here. There's not gonna be any more excess holes on this side, which is really nice. Having this massive hole helps a lot. And then, yeah, I just gotta do wiring, take this down. I'm gonna put wiring up here, just so then when I get the drywall up, it's up there, makes life a lot easier. Here's just like a quick demonstration of what I need to do. So I need to strip back both these wires. This one runs over to here where that light is. This one runs that way, which will be to that light. There will be wiring to that light, which is coming off of this original wiring there. But those get spliced, and then they go into this little junction box here and wire it together. This gets closed up, put in the ceiling, and then this is where the LED panels attach to. So pretty simple, nothing too difficult. The hardest part, honestly, is A, making sure the holes are aligned, and B, running the wiring. As you can see, I had a couple holes I need to do here because it turns out in this cavity, up until about here, is a vent. So it was really hard to get a wire to run through the existing channel because it goes to like here, juts over, comes up, comes back. It was a pain. So I took the easier route, cut some more holes. A little more work later on, but overall, not terrible. So I got the wiring ran from each hole over to here as well. Got that light taken out and patched up, or hole filled. And now I threw a piece of wood stripping in here just to attach this drywall to, and then also attach the new piece to, just make it real rigid. Then I'm going around and adding screws all the way around. And now that is super strong. Next up is measuring and bringing in the pieces of drywall, not wood. After about 8 hours of work, I finally have the last 4 in. Let's see. No, don't be flickering. Okay, he's good now. Damn. That looks good. Morning, guys. So it is the next day. I don't know where I left off with the video yesterday. I got exhausted finishing up the lights. So all I did was clean up, had a massive mess everywhere. Got this all cleaned up. I know I'm not gonna do any of this today, but I'll just show you what we accomplished yesterday, what we still have left to do, and about what my timeline is for that. Left, we need to tape and mud everything, basically. Obviously this one being the big one. That's gonna be next weekend, is taping and mudding and whatnot. And then probably the following weekend, I will get to sanding and possibly painting. I don't know, we'll see. It might be tape and mud one weekend, sand the next weekend, paint the following. So another 3 weeks-ish. It just depends on a lot of factors. Again, not doing anything today on this project. I got other stuff I gotta get done. So I will see you guys next weekend when we're back with the materials to do this. All right, so a few days have passed since we were last on this project. I think we last worked on it on Sunday. It is now Friday. Just got back from the store, went to Menards, got a bunch of stuff to do, mudding and taping. So what I've been doing right now is getting some taping done. I've gotten 1, 2, 3 of the holes taped up. So these are gonna be ready for mud. I have 1, 2, 3 more holes than the big patch that I did last week to tape up. And then gonna have dinner, and we'll see if I get to mudding tonight. Probably gonna save that for tomorrow, depending on the cure time on the mud I got. But real quick, I'll show you what all I got from Menards. First off, we got this fiber mesh, like self-adhesive tape. It's called Fiba tape. About 300 feet of it. We got a 6-inch mud knife, a bucket because we're gonna have to do some mud mixing, a 220 finishing sanding pad, a I don't know what grit pad to kind of like rough in the mud, and then we got a big 10-inch mud blade, drop cloth. I have one, but gonna need another one. Can't have too many. And then this is Easy Sand 90. So this is gonna be like the top final coat of the mud when we are to that point. And then out in the garage, I have the actual all-purpose drywall mud that's already pre-mixed, it's ready to go. So once we have this taped, it will essentially be ready for mud, and then we'll go from there. So what I've been doing for some of these is, especially like the holes where I had to drill for wiring, I've just been cutting like these strips out to have them ready to go onto the ceiling. I don't know if this is the best way to do it or the most proper. It's the way I'm doing it. So feel free to tell me how I'm wrong or not in the comments. But that's how I'm doing it. This is how I saw some people do it on YouTube. And that's the way I chose to do it. All right, so as you can see, that's taped up. We got that one taped up, taped, taped. So next is gonna be the last one, which is gonna be getting this whole thing taped up. So I strip, and then I gotta do the corner. And before I do any of that, I gotta pop this light down. So now that that's down, I can go around and tape. Probably just tape up to the edge there, and then from there down. Got that taped up. Just have this edge piece. I gotta cut away a little bit of the torn paper here. I think just right there. Then I can lay a bead of the mesh tape up. That is fully taped up. So everything is taped and good to go. I threw an extra strip on there just as like a reinforcement piece, but yeah. So now the only thing left to do is start mudding. So I think that's gonna be a morning project, as I am gonna have some dinner, and then I'm gonna hop on some Xbox with friends, and so yeah, so I will catch you guys in the morning. All right, so I had dinner, played Xbox for a couple hours, currently 11 o'clock at night now, and I'm gonna get the first coat of mud on. So here is what I'm using. I'm using this all-purpose joint compound. So this is gonna be the first and second layer used on all of this. And then the third layer is gonna be this Easy Sand 90 that I showed you guys earlier. I'm just doing the first coat tonight. That way it has time to dry properly. And then in the morning I can do a quick sand and do the second coat. So then later in the day, I can do my third coat, which is that. All right, so we're gonna put some joint compound in my little thingy here. Just makes life a little bit easier. Instead of having to go up and down the ladder a bunch of times, come to this bucket or hold this bucket. It's kind of heavy. I saw that to do this, you just want a light coat. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh, that's way not enough. Oh, I'm making a mess. Damn it. So yeah, I'm gonna do that several more times, and I'll be back when I'm at the big hole. So I've gone around and I've done all of the patch spots here, all like the holes where I had to do wiring or there was an existing light. So now I gotta go ahead and get this area done. So I gotta get more mud in my pan, and I'm gonna switch to the 6-inch blade versus the 10-inch that I'm using. Now I'm gonna get going on this. I think I'm gonna start down here. Oh, I'm actually gonna pop this light out. There we go. Oh, that's out. I can mud this up. I'll be back when this is mudded. All right, so it's been about an hour and a half. It got kind of warm in here. Ooh, I have plaster in my beard. There we go. Anyways, but all of coat 1 is done. So I did all the small holes, and then I got the big one up here done, which I'll show you in just a second. This was a big pain. This took the most amount of time because obviously this is my first time mudding or anything, so I just want to try to get it right, get it smooth, get it good enough so that in the morning I can come back and sand it down and do a second coat with the 10-inch blade, and then I can come back later that day or Sunday, sand it down and do a quick final skim coat, so then next weekend we can hopefully paint. I know it's been like 3 weeks at this point, 2-3 weeks at this point, but it's getting there, it's getting done. So here is the big hole all mudded up. So you see I got all the screws done, and then right here is the big seam. They weren't perfectly level, so I tried to fill it in as best I could, but it's really smooth here, not so much here, and then smooth again across the edge. So this is gonna be the area I focus on the most tomorrow when I do the second coat, is just like try to fill it in and make it smooth. And yeah, I'm doing my best. I really hope it turns out well. This was kind of a pain in the butt to do because I didn't buy like they make a corner tool. I just used my 6-inch, but whatever. It's done. Coat 1's done. I will see you guys tomorrow. Morning, guys. So it is the next day. Just got downstairs. I'm taking a look at the mud this morning. Overall, it doesn't look too bad. This is my cat Leo, if you guys don't remember. He runs breakfast. Anyways, overall, does not look bad at all. I mean, there's still some wet spots, so it's gonna be a little bit before I can really like sand it down. But overall, looks pretty good. So once it's more or less fully dry, once it is fully dry, not more or less, once it's dry, I'll come through, sand it down a little bit, get it nice and smooth, do a nut, or not nice and smooth, but get down some of the high points and whatnot, and then do a second thick coat, which will have to sit for at least 12 to 18 hours, and then, so that means tomorrow I'll come by and do the final finishing coat. So I'll slap that on. That takes 90 minutes to cure, and then I will, probably not tomorrow, but probably next week I can get to sanding, or throughout this week, just depends. So yeah, I will be back to you guys when it is dry and time to sand. All right, so it's been another full day. I didn't get to sanding yesterday because it was still wet, but it is finally dry. I have this draping up just so I don't get dust in that part of the kitchen yet. And then once I switch over to that area, I will be sectioning off that part of the room. But yeah, so I'm just gonna get to sanding. So I am now onto the other side of the room. I did the other two over there, but I just got done taping this off, and then I gotta start sanding all of this. Just get that initial layer down so then I can put the next layer on. I think those ones are good to just do the finishing coat. This one's gonna take a little bit more, so we're just gonna have to see. right, so I just got done sanding that down, and it's definitely ready for a second coat, but I think, I don't know, it came out a lot better than I was expecting it to. It was a lot smoother, so I think I'm gonna skip a second coat of this and just go straight to the second coat of the hot mud, or that's what people on TikTok call it. Just like the easy, quick mudding. I'm gonna take a break for a little bit though. I'm exhausted from sanding. That took a while, but yeah, so I'll be back in a little bit to put a second coat on. Now it is time to do the top coat, or the next coat that we're doing. We're gonna do the finishing stuff here because a lot of it came out really smooth and clean, so I think we just need to do another second coat using this instead of the all-purpose. We're gonna get this torn open, and let's see, I need 1 1/4 cup of water. Close enough. Try this because I probably should have done powder first. Now we need 2 cups of the mix. My thing they don't fit.
What did he say?
All right, half a cup at a time. Let's see if this fits. 2, 3, 4. And then mix for 1 minute into, it says, a creamy consistency. Got some wire, bent it out, put it on the drill. This is what I'm gonna use to mix. I would say that is a creamy consistency if I've ever seen one. Now I gotta transfer it from my bucket into my mud tray here because we're gonna be using the 10-inch to do the final coat. All right, so at some point throughout that, my GoPro died, so yeah. But I got all of this next coat on, and I'll show you guys real quick. I got that coat on. This one takes only 90 minutes to dry. I'm already seeing that I'm gonna have to do one more final thin skim coat because it bubbled in some spots, but that's not bad. But got that all mudded up. I'm gonna let that dry and then check it out. I don't think I'm gonna do anything else today. I'm exhausted. I have 4 or 5 hours into it today alone, 10 hours the other day doing light stuff, so I'm beat. Probably hop back on this later this week or next weekend, so I'll see you guys then. We have the area draped off, and by the way, it's another week later, but area draped off. Gonna sand down the big patch. Unfortunately, GoPro's dead, and I don't want to get this covered in dust, so your view might just be through there like this. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this sanded down, see if there's any more patch that I need to do. If not, then this will be good to be painted. All right, and just like that, the sanding is complete. Got all that sanded down nice and smooth. Then got those ones over there. Let's see, I made a little bit of a mess. All right, got this sanded down. It's all nice and smooth and ready for paint. Morning, guys. We are back with what feels like day 972. We are here this morning getting ready to paint. So I've gone ahead and taped everything up. You can see right behind me how this soffit in particular is taped down low and up the side here. It's because I need to repaint that whole thing right there because of the patch. So I taped it that way so then I can paint just that soffit. I hope everything matches. They did leave paint, just a matter of what color blue is the correct paint color for this room. They have one labeled too light and one too dark. Why? I don't know. But that's a later problem. Next up, I need to pop the lights out, and then I need to go get paint from Ace. A couple other odds and ends I need from Ace, and before I go, I gotta double check that I'm set on paint rollers and a stick or something to roll it, because I don't feel like moving that around 1,000 times to paint. Now the lights are popped down. We should be good to go. I got paint supplies from a previous project. I got new light switches because we're gonna be swapping those out to rockers, and then miscellaneous. Had to get a prime. Then the paint. So this is color changing ceiling paint. It's gonna go on pink and it's gonna dry white, so then I can see exactly where I painted and where I haven't painted. Okay. This is gonna need a stir. Oh, this seems pretty good already. Don't need a ton right now. Right, and just like that, the ceiling is painted. The patch has got a couple extra coats, but I think once the lights go up, you won't be able to notice the patches as much. But overall, pretty happy with how it turned out. Obviously could have been better, but the camera makes it look a lot better than it is in person, which is nice. But like I said, when the lights go up, should be good. The only thing I got left to do is paint this section and then swap out these light switches. So I think I'm gonna figure out the power for these and do the light switches. All right, so I think I got the wiring okay. Oh, you turned it on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nothing.
Oh.
Ceiling painted, lights are popped in. I was trying, as you could see, to change these switches, but there's so much electrical going on in there that should not be going on in there. So I just reverted back to the way it looks, and I'm gonna let a professional deal with that at some point. But only thing left to do is paint the soffit up there, and this whole project will be done. The project is done. Soffit painted, ceiling painted, everything's patched, new lights are in, old lights are out. Only thing left to do is this, but yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. Overall, looks pretty good. Tape lines turned out decent. There's a couple spots that could use touch up, but overall, now that the lights are back up and whatnot, you can't tell any imperfections in the ceiling. I mean, I can because I did it and I can tell where they're at, but if anyone came into the house, they wouldn't be able to tell where they're at. I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm glad it's done. It was a good learning experience, and I have some takeaways from it for next time I do a project. But biggest thing I'd say is don't follow any of the things that I did unless it was the wiring for the lights and putting those lights in, because I'm not a professional in any of the stuff that I did. Professional would have made it look a lot better, but I did it on a budget. If you want to do a project like this for, honestly, I think spent less than $300, if you want to do a project for less than $300, do it yourself and learn from probably other people's videos than mine. A little bit more technical videos out there, but overall it was good. I liked to see what the transition from old to new was, and I'm just looking forward to working on more projects around the house. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit the like rating, and if you're not already, make sure to subscribe so you can watch more content like this as it unfolds. But until next time.